Now we're taking a look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Jason Gilbo here at Fantasy Football Cafe, and definitely the lesser of the two Ohio teams. I can probably sum this one up pretty quickly as a don't bother, but I will try and find the bright spot in this Cleveland team, and it's likely going to be with the running game. Starting quick with the passing game, though, well, quite frankly, there is none. Jordan Cameron's gone off to Miami. The Browns brought in Dwayne Bowe. Somehow loses even more fantasy value coming from the Chiefs. I don't see much left in the tank from him. Other wideouts feature Brian Andrew Hawkins. So not guys that I'm drafting there. Josh McCown going to get the starting job. Not targets that really bring him to any sort of fantasy value there. Like I said, they're mediocre at best. Hausler, the tight end, may be a look for a sub for 1 week. Could be a guy to keep an eye on. Other than that, it's just simply ugly from the Cleveland Browns in the passing game. But the run game, they're going to run the ball. Ground and pound is going to be their game, and they're going to try and get the stout defense to just play that style, that AFC North style, which has actually gone away because the Steelers and Ravens have really focused on the offensive side as late. Bengals throwing the ball, kind of airing it out there. So Browns looking to stay true to the AFC North, ground and pound and defense. They ranked 6th last in the season in rushing attempts with 477. Isaiah Crowell likely to get the starting job. He rushed for 4.1 yards per carry on 148 attempts last season, 607 yards, 8 touchdowns, which was nice. So nice, definitely he was a waiver wire guy late season. But there are some threatening backs behind him. Crowell was actually just ripped for his flat performances at practice. Try not to look too deep into it, but something that could be something if he gives more lackluster efforts over the next few weeks there and even during in the season. Terrence West chipped in with 673 yards on 171 attempts, not falling really behind Crowell, 3.9 yards per carry, 4 touchdowns. I don't see Terrence West as much of a threat coming into the year. I see Duke Johnson, the guy they added in the draft, out of Miami, is a more mix. But this is going to create 3 backs. I think Crowell's going to be a lead guy, Johnson number 2, who's going to be more of a passing game guy, but Johnson could eventually see some attempts on the ground as well. He rushed for 1,600 yards, 10 touchdowns last season with the Hurricanes. The guy is a burner, real shifty, solid back, and I think he's going to make some noise here in the NFL. So like I said, they're going to offer the ground game, but here's a problem possibly that could occur, turning a mess in the backfield with 3 guys either going splitting attempts, 2 emerging still, creating somewhat of a lesser value between the 2. But I bank on Crowell being the guy, but my dark horse is Johnson coming through, and I'm really not less enamored with Terrence West there. So Johnson could be a guy to keep an eye on in the early weeks of the season, especially in PPR leagues. I like him out of the backfield. He'll be a nice dump-off guy on 3rd down, and eventually could see his way into the starting lineup if things go that way. So definitely want to keep an eye on over the next few weeks, preseason. So it's gonna be a battle to watch for, but overall it could be a mess. I expect a lot of sloppy games from the Browns, both on their side of the ball and opponents that come into the season. I think the defense is quite underrated. Fantasy value may not be great, but definitely they're gonna force some teams to make some mistakes, and especially at home, they'll be a dangerous defense at times. Definitely guys I'll be streaming, especially in the early parts of the season there. So what can I say? The Browns are the Browns. Really tough to like a lot of them. So it is what it is there in Cleveland.